So we're continuing our conversation on allyship. We got K Ray back. Yay! When life throws lemons, we make lemonade.
Lemonade, lemon margaritas, all of that.
We find our wiggle room.
Lemonade. We're not over here, crashing up cars and stuff. That's another conversation. That's another conversation. So we were just talking about kind of what allyship means to us and about the awareness behind it and how bad the awareness is needed. And kind of piggybacking on the last things that you were talking about, Bahati, before I got distracted by all things popping up. We don't have the allyship. It's just a word. Like you said, DEI was it was something that was put in place. And that was not funny, haha, but kind of comical to me when our current administration came in and started talking about removing it from everything. And I'm like,
Yeah.
do it, because it didn't benefit me. It didn't benefit me at all. I did not get a thing behind anybody having a DEI initiative. Like nothing. So it's,
And listen, that goes to show when people say, I want to do the right thing, they go creating a system, another system that people don't feel like they belong to. They feel like, oh, you're just checking a box. And this is the whole is the whole kind of hiccup around the concept of allyship is when people say, because the theme is I don't see color, right? When you say I don't see color, now you're saying I need to make a box to put you in so I can make sure that I see your color. Check this DEI box that I hired you. Check this affirmative action box that I hired you. And let me report these statistics to show everyone that I hired a person of color. See, I'm doing allyship. And it's bullshit.
It is bullshit. And it's really bullshit when you are working, when I was let go last year, those that were over the department that made that decision looked like me. They were women of color. There was two of them.
Yeah.
Where's the allyship in that?
Yeah.
Kind of like, so if I can't get any allies from my sister girls, how am I going to get that from someone else? Not saying I can't, but that's where your mind starts to get in the way and start thinking. So, yeah.
What are some specific ways that you find that allyship shows up the best for you?
Great question, Kay.
Thank you.
Good question.
And this is the question we want allies to ask us, right? Because it's one thing to use the term as an umbrella term, but it's another thing to truly define, because I think you're going to get a different answer from everybody.
Yeah.
But on the surface, on the table, women are going to say, we want you just to respect our voice. Pull up a seat at the table, invite us to the table, but also respect our voice. Don't just bypass us when we're talking. Don't just bypass our ideas, because as women, we see everything. We see 10 steps ahead, sometimes 20 steps ahead, because that's just how our brain works, right?
Yes.
And so value that. Value my presence.
Yes, absolutely.
100%. 100%. I don't even have anything to say behind that, because
but what does it mean for you? Because you just said women who look like you didn't do allyship for you. What should that have looked like?
So I didn't even work with these individuals very long, because I came under them as part of a merger. So for majority of the time that I had all this stuff going on that I previously talked about, I was working for a white male. Going way back, just looking at my history and those that I had reported to over the years, I had some of the greatest working relationships working for, there's two that stick in my mind from many years ago. Three. All three were white, two were men.
Mm-hmm.
And working under those three were the times in my life, and I was in my 20s at the time, where I felt more respected, I felt more listened to, and I felt I trusted them. And I respected them just like they respected me. And
Yeah.
I felt that anything that I got anywhere was based on merit because, you definitely have to prove yourself, extra, extra, extra. But I didn't feel I had to do that with them. So you fast forward another 20, 30 years, and then you start seeing it not happen that way.
Yeah.
Or there's little pockets. Like initially, things seem pretty good and seem pretty fair. And then all of a sudden, there's like this turn. And then I'm trying to figure out, where did this shift come from? I later found out, and that was another conversation, but I found out where the shift came from. It was because they were listening to someone else and not being the smart person that they were, and actually check into, I know this is supposed to be my buddy over here, but let me just make sure, because I know how they are, that what they're telling me, there's some truth to it, or there's some merit. Or let me go have this conversation with Danielle. I need to get the other side. And
Yeah.
that never happened. And so it when the merger happened and I saw who I would be working for, it was a little refreshing because this was going to be the first time that I worked under any Black women. But I didn't expect any privilege. I didn't expect any
Yeah.
special treatment because I knew what I had to offer, and I knew that I knew my stuff. So I, just like anyone else, I don't have a problem with proving myself based on merit, but I expect to be rewarded based on that merit and hard work, just like I see you doing for other people that I might see hanging out in the hallway all day long, chit chatting. And I'm like, well, when are they doing anything? But I'm busting my tail over here and not being recognized for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes even just a thank you or or acknowledgement can go a long way with me. Yeah, money and promotion is nice too, but
Mm.
I understand sometimes that there are constraints when it comes to that kind of thing. But just being able to feel appreciated and seen and heard, which
Yeah.
is a lot of what pushed me to want to do this channel, is because I wasn't getting that. And I'm like, am I just like talking to the wall here? Because I feel like the wall is respecting me more so, hearing me more
Yeah.
so than the person that's supposed to be listening. But it made me very aware in how I wanted to be and the type of leader I wanted to be for those that reported to me, regardless of what they look like. If they were
Yeah.
struggling, I want to sit down and figure out. I'm not just going to sit down and write you up. I'm trying to figure out, did I fall short somewhere? Did maybe you not get the training you needed? Is maybe there's something going on that you don't have to tell me if there's anything personal, but maybe there's something I can do to assist you where you're able to perform to the ability that I know you're able to do, or whatever that looks like. But I felt like I was just kind of tossed aside by women who I felt should have understood because of the fact they were women of color. I guess
Yeah.
I
Or just
expected
women in general. Just women in general,
exactly.
right?
That's what I was going to
Right.
say. Women in general have a
I
hard time.
expect that you would be able to understand something.
Yeah.
Something.
And to go back
Not
to what
do
Kay
the same
said, 'cause
thing.
I,
Yeah.
I love that question, Kay. And it's so important because I think about that from the space that I occupy with people who don't look like me. Like, how am I an ally to other communities, right? And you said it perfectly, Daniel. It's, I want to be respected, I want to be heard, I want to be appreciated, and then I will trust you. So at the root of what we all desire is to trust that another human being has our best interest at heart, right? not calculating and assuming how they can benefit off of our gifts and talents and knowledge, wisdom.
Right.
It's you have my best interest at heart, and you know that together equally we will ascend, we will rise, we will do some amazing dynamic
We
things.
could do so much more if we're
Mhm.
working together in that
Yeah.
aspect and being allies
Yeah.
versus, oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to do so much for her.
Yeah.
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 We just desire to trust other people with our own gifts and talents just as much as we want them to trust us.
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 And that is a human condition.
Yeah.
We all
Right.
have that. So it's
Yeah.
a matter of learning how to express those wants and needs to each other in a way that we can hear it from each other. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
that that requires a level of vulnerability that I
Mhm.
find that a lot of people are afraid of for
Yeah.
various reasons. They have their walls up, you know.
Well,
And
because look at the condition of humanity right now, right? Again, before you dropped, okay, I was saying I responded on LinkedIn to a post from the United Nations Women that said I think 8 in 10 women are left out of the decision making at the table for global issues. For global issues.
yes,
United
yes,
Nations, the
Yeah.
epitome of allyship
The entire
globally,
world.
right? And again, those numbers have climbed up. Over 500,000 women have been ousted from the workforce. So if you don't respect us, you don't hear us, you don't appreciate us, we will not trust you. We will stop participating
Yeah.
in whatever is going on, and we
That's
will find
right.
another way. And so the other
yep,
way for us as women, because I feel like this is pivoting towards that, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's what this circle is about, is as women, now we have our own internal issues, sisters. Like, how can we rebuild trust amongst each other when we're doing the same things that the systems are doing to us, to each other?
Right. Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
that really is the root of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that's an area that I have had struggle in
Yeah.
myself, you know, in the various occupations and especially in healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was really pushed to become a nurse. And after working as an EMT in hospitals and seeing the dynamics, I was like, not only no, but hell no.
Yeah.
No, find another way.
It's not ready to eat for everybody, honey. It's not ready to
Right.
eat for everybody. Listen, shout out to the folks who work in those
Yes.
servant emotional labor occupations like teachers and doctors and nurses and
Yeah.
all the folks who do
Yeah.
the work that keep us alive. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
true allyship to me. It's like you're sacrificing your well-being
Yeah.
in all quadrants of life to make sure our well-being is good. So shout out to
Right.
those
Yeah.
service workers.
Yes. Thank
But that is
Absolutely.
not my ministry. That is not my ministry.
And
I
I
went to
love
nursing school one quarter when I was 19 and said, oh, nope, nope, nope.
I took a semester in mental health because I wanted to become a therapist, and I was like, there must be another way. There must be another way.
Yes. So
but
see,
I
one
loved
quarter
it.
apiece.
I loved it. I loved working in it. What I didn't love was how the people actually working in it were not supportive of each other, not as much as they
Mm.
could have been. And there
Yeah.
was a lot of backbiting going on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and the burnout,
I've seen that.
yeah, and disrespect,
Yeah.
huge disrespect. You talk to
Yeah.
Mhm.
nurses and the amount of disrespect that they get from their colleagues and from the
Yeah.
doctors that they work with
Yeah.
is enormous. And there's a high
Yeah.
burnout rate. We have a shortage of
Yeah.
nurses, by the
Yeah.
way. And it's
Absolutely.
largely due to patient load and lack of respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Humans
Yeah.
forgot how to be humans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've
they
there's
do.
been a shortage in, I mean, just in healthcare in general, because, again, although I worked for a educational institution, um, we had a medical group as well. So we employed nurses and doctors and,
Hmm.
Hmm.
ultrasonographers and I mean everything. And it was we always had openings for the nurses, for the medical assistants, and then, they'd get a lot of them in, especially like the medical assistants, but then they were right back out. It was just a
Yeah.
revolving.
It is. It is.
The clinics never got to fully staff, and they probably still aren't.
Yeah. And I mean, it reminds me of the pandemic, right?
Right.
And how they put their lives on the line for us
Yeah.
to survive. And many of us did and many of us didn't,
Yeah.
But man, the amount of expectation and pressure that we put on them was so unfair. It was so heartbreaking to watch that they couldn't go home to their own families because they were contaminated by all of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were putting signs out on the streets, and we're like honking our horns, like we support you, yet and still they still live under the livable wage
Yeah.
in the country. They're still not
Yes.
making livable wages, right? And so
No,
Yeah.
no,
it just
I have
has me reflecting on I love how you said that, Kay, like the human condition, the human
yeah,
condition.
it is. It
Yeah.
is. And
Yeah.
it's a for lack of a better term, I think it's an affliction that we all need to
Mhm.
work on
Yeah.
Yes.
to heal within ourselves. And it
Yeah.
takes just being mindful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
be mindful. If you
Yeah.
have to start a sentence with the phrase, I don't mean to offend you, you probably shouldn't be
We've
saying
already
that.
started the conversation then.
I know. Just keep your mouth shut.
You've already offended me because I know that there's some bullshit coming out after that.
Yeah. And how would you reframe that? How would you reframe that? Because I say, forgive my ignorance.
Yes,
Because I
I've
really
said
don't
that.
know. I really don't know.
I've said that. Yeah.
Forgive my
Yeah.
ignorance, but I'm
Yeah.
just really curious about that.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
just
that takes
asking because I
distinct.
honestly don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I say that a lot.
Yeah, it's I've had it said to me where somebody wanted to give me their opinion about me in one way or another. And that's how they started it off. And
Mm.
yeah, like, okay, you say that, what's coming?
Yeah.
Right. You're kind of holding your breath.
You're right. And so to me, it's like, think before you speak. Maybe something you're wanting to comment on and give your opinion on really is none of your business and they didn't ask you. Maybe
This is where
ask
being
if,
authentic and honest can also go sideways because people
Yeah.
don't know
yes,
how to communicate to other people. Like, what is it that you really want to say to me, that you're afraid, you're assuming I'm going to get offended by it because you know that society has taught you that you shouldn't do those things, right? Like, what are you really truly asking me here? And I
Yeah.
think that the pivot I want to take here with us is, how are you an ally unto yourself in a world
yes,
that is
Mhm.
rejecting us? It
True.
is taking our stories away. It is trying to take our power away. It is taking our opportunities away. Like, how are you an ally unto yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. That's that's a good
absolutely.
question.
I tell people all the time, be your own best friend. I had
Mhm.
a great conversation the other day with a young man about how the words that we say to ourselves, our subconscious hears those. And our
Mhm.
Mhm.
subconscious is so powerful, it runs 99.9% of our conscious decisions. It's that powerful. But the
Mhm.
subconscious is an idiot. Everything it sees, hears, experiences, even if it's just a thought,
Yeah.
it thinks is real.
Mhm.
And think about that. If you call
Yeah.
Mhm.
yourself an idiot, if you put yourself down, you're
Yeah.
thinking it, you're saying it out loud, you're apologizing,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
subconscious goes, oh, well, this must be true. Okay.
Mhm.
So now it checks the other boxes of undeserving and not good enough. And we do it to ourselves. We keep checking those boxes for ourselves by the words
Mhm.
that come out of our mouth about
Yeah.
ourselves
Yep.
and the words that we say to ourselves. So it's so important to be mindful. Again, I go back to being mindful.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
be the detective in your own life and monitor the words that you're
Yeah.
Absolutely.
thinking, writing, reading, talking. It all feeds it.
Don't
Yeah.
like, don't
I'm
believe
gonna
everything you think.
Yes. You got to be your own thought police, really.
Yeah.
Yes,
I love how you
yes.
said that, Kay. That is so true. And that is the journey of life, is getting to know who you are first.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
oftentimes we subscribe to things that don't honor who we truly are, how we are truly designed. And I just want to like amplify what you're saying by adding to that, that we have spent so much time in our heads. Mental health has not improved, it's actually gotten worse
yeah,
Yeah.
because we have forgotten the mother mind, which is an African spirituality that says that everything begins in your heart. There's a science behind this, heart intelligence. You know, I talk about
yeah,
this often because I want to be an
yeah.
advocate. I want to be an ally for changing and reversing how we experience each other in this world. Heart intelligence is a science that says the heart is the first brain. It actually acts like a brain by sending signals
Yeah,
to the brain
yeah,
to calculate what we are actually feeling. And then between the two, we send the chemicals throughout our body. Our gut biome
yeah.
determines how we feel about things and how our body operates. And so it's a whole, we are a
Yeah.
machine.
Yeah,
Yes, we
We are
are.
a dynamic,
absolutely.
complex machine. And so to your point, like getting to know you is not just emotionally, mentally, it's really physiologically, biologically, what's in your DNA, your ethnicity, what is your soul journey, all the things, which is what I love to do in my life architecture work. It's like, let's break you apart. I used to work in IT when I was in the military, and I had to take these old CPUs apart and put them back together again. Fast forward
Yeah.
30 years later, and here I am doing that emotionally, spiritually, physically. Like I'm taking everything apart and I'm going to examine, like you said, examine everything and then put it back together again. And you know, a machine doesn't work without the spark of energy, and the
Right.
spark of energy is your heart. Every ancient
Yeah,
culture talks about that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so there's to me something dynamic happening right now, even though we use these stats about women leaving the workforce. The heart of the experience is leaving the system.
hmm,
Yes.
Think about that. The
yeah,
heart of the system is leaving. And so we are out here kind of feeling our way through. You know, we found each other through unique means and we've become this wonderful team here. But there are women out there who are searching and soul searching for their companion, their partner, their ally, but they
yeah.
forget to look within themselves. So thank you for saying that,
Exactly.
Kay.
No, absolutely. Our heart is the
Yeah.
seat of the soul,
Hmm.
and I read a lot on that a couple
Yeah.
years ago, Bahati, like through Heart Math and
Yep.
things like that, and as a part of the energy work I was doing. So totally get that. And I actually had a session that I did when the She Ascend Circle was a membership, and we started in February. And the
Hmm.
very first topic we talked about was falling in love with yourself. And so
Hmm.
I had looked at that in a while. I just looked at it the other day because I was going to post some clips out. And I was like, okay, I forgot we even talked about this,
Yeah.
and, things to do, how to treat ourselves and we put so much focus on what we say to others and how we treat others and how we're loving and there for others, and we totally forget about ourselves. But that's where it starts with us, and it starts within, and it starts right here. And
Yeah.
so we but when it starts in here and we get this right, then everything else out here then falls into place. But
Yeah.
that mind, like you were talking about, Kay, up here, we can't
Yeah.
listen to that. It helps
Mm-mm.
us
That's it.
through, making decisions that are important that we need to make and things of that nature. But that really shouldn't be the first thing that we're following. We should be starting here, because
Yeah.
then this
Right.
will follow this. So
Yeah.
yeah, I totally get that. So
Yeah. And society has brought us all the way up here for so long
yeah,
that the World Health Organization says we're in a loneliness epidemic. Nationally, we're in a trauma epidemic. I mean, it just keeps getting worse and worse and
yeah,
worse. And it's
a
like,
happiness epidemic.
we cannot
Yeah,
get our arms around mental health. There are not enough people in this world that can help the amount of people who are hurting because they're trapped up here in this
yeah,
cycle of death and not realizing they need to come down. They need to descend
yeah.
from their mind so they can realize the creative powers that we have as human beings. Like we create
Exactly.
everything, we create every problem and every
Yeah.
solution. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful balance, and sometimes it's chaotic and sometimes it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But it is
And it
it is
doesn't make
who we
sense
are
to
by
us.
design. It's who
Yeah, it
we are
doesn't
by
make
design.
sense, but we do it. And
Yeah.
the sooner that people can, some are waking up, but there's a lot that they're still sleeping, I guess.
Yeah.
And if they do in their own time, that's fine. But the more that people do start to recognize, I mean, it's a daily thing because we're trying to unlearn what we have learned all
Yeah.
of these years. And so when you
Right.
start hitting that seasoned state, like we all are. I think Bahani's the
Mid-century
baby.
modern.
Yeah, mid-century
Mid-century
modern.
modern.
Bahani's the baby
That's
in the
it.
group, though. But
As an
mid-century
artist, I gotta
modern.
give, and Kay, you already know. It's a sexy vibe. It's a sexy vibe.
So when you have hit that mid-century modern age, as we are, that's a lot of undoing. So the time we do have left here on this earth till we decide that we're going to transition on into wherever, it's going to be a daily thing.
Yeah.
The key is
Yeah,
just being
and
mindful
it's
of it.
Yeah.
yeah,
What I
and
love about
it's giving.
this is Kay is an artist. So she has the root skill of what it takes to start doing the unlearning and the work. Like art is the core of creation. It is the heart of creativity. It is
Yeah.
so healing and so therapeutic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a challenge too, because when for instance, I'm designing a new painting as we speak. And as I'm going through the design process, I have this battle going on in my head. And there's a saying that my mentor gave me: how we do one thing is how we do everything.
Mm,
And so the way I put that into practice in my life is I'm designing this piece of art, and I get caught up in this thing that it has to look this way.
yeah.
Why? Because this is the way everybody draws it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I remind myself, no, this is my art. I
Yeah.
get to express it the way it looks good, feels good. Me,
Yep. You get to decide. Yeah.
I get to decide how
Yeah.
I, I was drawing a sunflower and I was using scribbles to make it. Did it look like your typical sunflower? No.
Mhm.
Was it fun?
Mhm.
Put it out there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And be
And
happy with
oh my
it.
gosh, Kay, I love that.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
whole moment crying. I do mirror work where I talk to myself. This is part of like the things that we do to create
Mhm.
allyship amongst ourselves and to love ourselves and return to ourselves. Mine is mirror work, and it's talking
Talk
to
to
my younger
ourselves.
self,
Yeah.
talking to my current self, and talking to my future self. Collectively, it was what you are doing now is for you, honey. Don't worry
Yeah.
about everybody else. Don't worry about what they're going to say or think about whatever. Do it for you. If it makes you happy, do it for you. And then it reminded me, Mother Mind was like, this is what I say to my kids all the time.
Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I find, and I was talking with a girlfriend yesterday, and she is starting a business. She's doing these things, and she was talking to me about the conversation that she had with her husband. And her husband immediately went into fear mode. Well, you're not going to be home as much. When are we going to spend enough time together? You don't have to work. I really just want you here at home. And she had to tell him, I need this.
Yeah.
Right.
This is what I need for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was that way too. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stay at home and just take care of the house and the child. I needed more than that.
Yeah.
And the judgment that gets placed on women who do that
Yeah.
is fierce.
Yeah.
I don't care where you come from, it's fierce. And it's been that way for decades. And then we
Millennia.
Yeah.
millennia, yes. And then we teach
Yes.
the daughters. We teach our daughters that's how it is if we live by those rules
Yeah.
and laws that we've made, that little prison box that we made for ourselves.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I'm reading Mary Magdalene. And I know Danielle, you said you read this book.
I did. Like
My God,
years ago. Yeah.
we need to have a whole segment on that. Honestly,
Yes.
truly, we do. But
Yeah.
the author is telling stories from her seminary theological historical work, validated work
Right.
on this woman and other women in those times who were boxed in, were
Yeah.
expected to follow a role and a rule. And I am determined to find the historical reference where this all started. And I won't blame it on Eve. I won't blame it on her, because even
Right.
she was expected to do a thing, right? She was
Right.
expected not to eat the apple from the
Right.
tree of knowledge. But I'm like, no, this started from somewhere. I want to know who's the man. I want to speak to the manager. I want to speak to the manager, because here we are in 2026, same shit, different day.
Manager.
Man,
Manager.
Manager.
shout out to the man, because my husband is a
Fantastic
divine
subject.
masculine
Fantastic.
man. I don't want right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, we're
my
not.
husband is a good-hearted
Yeah.
man. He is a heart-led man who references the women in his household through
Yes.
protection and security and all the things. So it's not a
Sure.
man bashing thing, but there is a
No, not at
mentality
all.
behind that.
Yeah.
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 If it wasn't for us.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah, you do want to know where that, and it still falls in line with allyship, because women and men, we should be each other's allies. It
That
shouldn't
part.
be, so it's still a part of the same
Because men
conversation.
know we are ride or die for the most part. Like, women always have a man's back. We
Yeah.
always will have a man's back. We will always come to defend them at work or wherever, right? In a relationship,
Exactly.
we will come to defend you. We're not
Yeah.
strong like you, but we will talk somebody down.
That's
Absolutely.
not down. Yeah, down. Oh
Yeah.
man.
We just want the same thing. It don't have to be violent,
Yes.
it just has to be fair.
Yeah.
Yes. Oops. But well, I mean, this has been great. I like the way that we rolled through, regardless of tech issues and
Yeah.
platforms and everything. But we're gonna roll with this. And those that are watching, I hope you gained a lot out of this, even if it was some of awareness, or just laughing at us being our normal
Untethered, unmasked, unadulterated.
That's right. Unmasked. That's what
Yes.
says. Unmasked. Take it off. So
Yeah.
we will continue our conversations in our next session on the She
Mhm.
Ascends Circle Lounge. I think I saw a video somewhere where someone was like, tell this person, tell your kids, tell your this, whoever it is, tell
I think that was me.
somebody said something, tell your, yes, okay,
Tell your aunties, tell your uncles.
not everybody, tell everybody.
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 Yeah.
Did anyone have anything they want to say before we close out?
Just, be your own best friend, man.
Mhm.
Just be your own best friend. Whatever you would say and how you would treat your best friend, make you your own best friend.
Yeah. I'll second that, Kay. Learn the core essence of allyship from the inside out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback on everything that we said, whatever feels good to your soul, do that.
That part.
So until next time, we'll see ya. Bye.
Bye.